Well, here I am in the emergency room. I'm waiting for a doctor to come and tell me how badly I messed up my knee. Turns out it's pretty bad. So why don't you come with me on a journey and I'll explain to you what I did to my knee, what I did to fix it, and the recovery that came afterwards. So at the ER, the doctors gave me this thing here. It's known as a knee immobilizer, and basically there's some rigid rods here and here that kind of go up the back and the side of your knee, and of course there's all kinds of Velcro straps, and you strap it in there and basically, well, it does what it says it can do. You can't move your knee. And I wore that the first night and it was agonizing because my knee began to swell up, pushing against those rigid rods and that. I ended up, I took some painkillers, just some Tylenol, which helped, and I was able to get some sleep. I found over the next few days that I would lay this thing in bed and sleep on it like that. So the rigid rods would support my leg, but my leg wasn't constrained, and I could kind of turn a little bit and sleep a little better. I could bend my knee a little bit, kind of get comfortable, so it wasn't god awful, but it's made sleeping kind of tough. Put a few blankets under the knee and support it, and it wasn't too bad. All right, so 6 days ago, I destroyed my knee. I was playing hockey, and I was going to get a puck going towards the boards, and I went to turn right. My left leg caught a rut and went left, and I kind of smashed into the boards awkwardly and folded my knee inwards. That was 6 days ago. I went to the ER that night. The doctor told me I had a torn MCL. They gave me a very funky looking brace and some crutches, and I booked an appointment with the knee experts. I just got back from the knee experts, and I'll explain that in just a few minutes. So the first few days were pretty rough. I took extra strength Tylenol, I think, for the Saturday night. I injured it Saturday afternoon, and I had some 12-hour Advil stuff, which I took. I took the last one Monday night, so after about 2 or 3 days of painkillers, I stopped taking them. My knee doesn't actually hurt. I mean, if you poke in the right spots, it hurts. But the pain is actually gone. My ribs hurt a little more. I've got some bruised ribs as well from this. And there's a bit of bruising on my knee. But what it feels like is I always felt like it was just going to pop right at a joint because there's not much supporting it. So pain wasn't bad, which I suppose is a good thing. But of course, mobility is an issue. I was on crutches wearing that immobilizer for 6 days now. You can't drive with it on, so as soon as you get in the vehicle, you got to take the thing off. You drive, and as soon as you get out, you put it back on, you're on your crutches. It's a real pain in the ass. It does what it's supposed to do. I mean, I can't complain about that part of it. So I went to see the knee experts today. There's an acute knee injury clinic here, and well, that's their specialty, is knees. So after talking to them, they had some good news and bad news for me. I'll show you that soon here. So what did the experts have to tell me? Well, nothing good. So there's an MCL. There's a bunch of tendons that run up the inside of your knee here. Those are called the MCL. On the outside is the LCL, and don't ask me for the full-length terms of those. They're on the internet somewhere. You can find them. I have torn the MCL. That's been torn. Underneath your kneecap, there's 2 tendons that kind of crisscross, and those are the tendons that give your knee stability when you do pivot and turn things like you would in football or soccer. One of them is called the ACL, which is a very common one you hear of in football players. I've torn that. Between your lower leg bone and your upper leg bone is obviously this joint. Between the 2 bones in the joint is cartilage, known as meniscus. I've torn that too. So basically, I have more or less exploded my knee. I'm 45 years old. I actually had very good knees up to this point. Unfortunately, I'm a handyman. I run my own business, and I'm obviously off work for a little while. Now, what is going to happen going forward? Well, they've put me in this brace, and that's going to allow this MCL is supposed to heal without surgery. So that's what this brace is doing. It's limiting my movement so this thing can heal. The meniscus, as I understand, sometimes heals on its own. I guess it depends on how bad you ruin it. The ACL will not heal on its own. That will require surgery. However, I don't need surgery right away. So what they're going to do, of course, is let everything heal. They're not going to give me surgery when I'm all swollen and damaged. So the MCL will heal. Surgery could be anywhere from 6 to 12 months down the road, which sounds like a long time, and it is, but it won't prevent me from doing things. Basically, once the MCL heals, I can go back to work and do other things. I'll just have to wear probably a smaller brace to support my leg for pivot and turn motions, which you don't do a lot of in hockey, but when I'm a handyman, I'm on a ladder and I'm up there turning around and stuff, I'm going to want that kind of support. So the good news is I am mobile. I should heal, call it about 6 weeks, which isn't terrible for a knee injury. The bad news is I did far more damage to this knee than I actually thought I did. So it's going to be probably a couple years until I'm fully recovered, but thanks to modern medicine, I should be back I'll be back at work probably in a month or two and probably fully recovered, well, maybe in time for my 50th birthday. However, you guys can come along with me for the ride. We'll see what the next couple weeks brings here. Right now, I can hobble around with the best of them. Stay tuned. So this is what the knee experts gave me. They gave me this knee brace. It's pretty much a full leg brace, and they adjust it and all this. And it's got these hinges on the side of it here. And of course, it's got these nice metal braces on it. So the good news is for me, my knee always felt like it was going to pop out of joint this way. If I turn my knee like this, it just felt like my knee was going to come flying right out of there. This is very comfortable, believe it or not. It's pressing a little bit on the side here, which is causing a little discomfort because that's where it hurts. But I can walk without crutches. They've sort of limited me here. I don't know if you'll be able to see it, but I can only extend my leg this way 30 degrees max. So this is as straight as I can put my leg. And then I'm allowed to go 90 degrees the other way, but I can't do that because of the swelling in my knee. It actually causes quite a bit of pain if I do that. So I can use this, but at least I'm not on crutches for now. I got to go back in 2 weeks and see these guys again and get an update in that. All right, so welcome to week 2 of my knee injury recovery. I suffered this injury exactly 2 weeks ago today. I've been in what I refer to as my bionic brace for the last 8 days now. And just kind of looking at the old knees here, and I noticed it last night. This knee seems to be swelling up again a little bit. It's been a little achy. I got this bump here, which is a little squishy. This part here is kind of firm, but the thing that really took me last night was it looks like this kneecap is pointing off to the outside, which it should be a little straighter. So that I find baffling and concerning, although I don't experience really any pain. I mean, it's a little achy because I've been doing quite a bit of walking and stuff like that, just trying to stay active. But I do see the experts in about another 9 days again, and we'll see what they have to say. So this has been 2 weeks, going as well as can be, but I'm hoping for a more speedy recovery. But I'm a little concerned as my knee is looking a little funky at the moment, so I guess we'll see what the experts say. We'll give it a little more time. So I've been in that brace for about 8 days now, and I'm supposed to wear it 23.5 hours a day, which I've been doing. I sleep in it and only take it off to shower, and it's been good. It gives me mobility in that. But I just took it off now and did a little bit of walking, very carefully obviously, and my knee does not feel like it's going to buckle inwards at the moment. I'm sure if I put enough pressure on it, it would, but it definitely feels better than it did when I first suffered the injury 2 weeks ago. Still, there are occasions where I feel it is not very strong laterally, but it is improving. I'm just not sure how much, maybe 20%, 30%. We'll have to see what the experts say. Just got back from the knee specialist and everything's looking really good. It is healing well. They've given me full range motion in my brace, which is wonderful. And the good news is I only got to wear this thing when I'm at work. And I'm going back to work tomorrow, which is October 1st. So when I'm at home around the house, I can not wear the brace. Obviously I have to be careful. I can sleep without it on, which is going to be a nice perk. So far so good. Things are coming together well. I'm going to get fitted for an ACL brace, custom ACL brace, and have a surgery consult sometime in the new year to fix my ACL, which won't heal on its own, unfortunately, but things are coming along nicely. It's only been about 6 weeks since the accident, so wonderful. So I got my fancy new custom ACL brace yesterday. That was October 31st. I picked a nice color that'll match my motorbike. And this is supposed to be giving me enough support that I can play hockey and stuff like that. But I honestly don't really believe that. I don't believe my leg or my knee is strong enough to do that, even with this brace. Not to mention, it's not bulky, but trying to fit that under hockey equipment could be pretty tough to do. It will, however, give me the support I need to, be up on ladders and do my work, and I don't think I want to get into very heavy labor, but this should allow me to, do most of my tasks as a handyman here. So far so good. It's actually fairly comfortable because they measured and fit it to my leg. It's aluminum, the blue parts are aluminum, and it's got a bunch of padding and stuff in it, so I guess we'll give this a shot and see how well she works. So on October 31st I had my surgical consult out in the town of Banff, where they actually have some of the best knee surgeons in Alberta anyway. There's lots of ski hills out there, so they probably deal with ripped up knees on a regular basis. There's a couple of options for my knee. One, they take a piece of tendon from my hamstring and sew it in place of the ACL. That can weaken your hamstring a bit. The other option is they take a piece of what they call donor tissue. It's cleaned up, it's killed with radiation, and they insert it into your knee, and your body regrows tendon on this matrix they use. So I'll have a piece of, potentially have a piece of dead person in me, which is interesting. First step to becoming Frankenstein's monster, I guess. The one good part about the donor tissue is they don't take a piece of your hamstring, so you're not potentially weakening that. They told me the surgery would take about 45 minutes, which is very quick. They drill some holes into your leg bones and insert the tendon in there and secure it somehow, and of course your body just sort of regrows on it. So that was kind of neat. Looked disgusting in the video, but medical procedures have made leaps and bounds the last few decades, of course. At the moment, I'm looking at about a 4 to 6 month wait to get in for surgery, so that would put it between about February and April. I did ask them to put me on the cancellation list, so I could be in much sooner with maybe a week to a month notice, so that's better. The problem being is I am self-employed and I'm a handyman, so if I have very little notice, it's going to be a little tough for me to juggle the jobs I have around, to postpone them, potentially even cancel them so I can have this surgery, because once I have the surgery I will be off work for 2 to 3 months, and it'll be about a year until full recovery with physio and all this other stuff they want you to do. So that's going to be a bit difficult. If I can get a month's notice, then I can probably organize my schedule and do my best to keep my clients happy without losing all my work, but I guess time will tell. So now we sit tight. I will be wearing my fancy new custom brace for a little while here, and wait to see what happens with the surgery. Hey everybody. So tomorrow I'm going in to get my knee surgery, so I just had to make a little pile of things I got to take with me. I still got to pack my overnight bag, although I won't necessarily be staying overnight. They suggest you pack one just in case. So I've got my cold therapy unit here. You can fill that with ice water and it circulates it through this pad to reduce swelling. Costs more than a frozen bag of peas, so I certainly hope it works better. Got my crutches, got my immobilizer. I got this black brace, which I think is called a post-operative brace. Hopefully that'll be the one I'm wearing, so I'll be able to walk with that. And I got my ACL brace. I'm pretty sure they won't want me to wear that one right away, but I'm going to bring it all just in case. So I got to leave here at 4 a.m. tomorrow and drive out to Banff where the knee experts are and check myself in at 6 a.m. So hopefully it'll be done and over quickly. Guess we're going to find out. Well, I'm at home after my surgery. It actually went extremely well. The boys and girls out at the Banff Mineral Springs Hospital there, they run like a well-oiled machine. These guys are really good at what they do. Got there about 6 a.m., checked in. They rolled me in for surgery at about 9:30. I was in the recovery room waking up at 11 a.m. and at 11:30 they wheeled me back to my room. I had to sit there till about 1:30 when they discharged me and sent me home. I've got some good painkillers and stuff like that, and basically I'm allowed to put full weight on this thing. I do use crutches just to make sure I'm not going to destroy it again. But now it's time for recovery. So we'll see how this goes here. Hope it should go well. Alright everybody, time for a knee update. I had my surgery on Friday, February 21st. Today is Wednesday, February 26th. I have not been able to take the wrapping off here since the surgery. I also couldn't get it wet, which means I couldn't have a proper shower, so I apologize if you can smell me through the camera. That's my next goal as soon as I get this thing off. I have not used crutches since the day of the surgery. I used them to get out of the hospital. I have not taken painkillers since the second day after the surgery. So everything's going well. I do have some exercises to do that are helping. I can't straighten my leg fully and I can't bend it completely. So the range of motion is compromised, but I'm mobile. I walk well. I have a limp, obviously. But so far, things are going well. So let's take off these bandages here and let's see what we got underneath. Oh, I was wondering how they stuck that on there. Piece of Velcro. So you can see obviously I bled through one spot a little bit. Oh, make that 2 spots a little bit. Which shouldn't be a real shock. I mean, they did cut me open. Now these are what are known as steri-strips. Instead of using stitches, they actually stick tape on you, and it's super sticky tape. Similar thing to when I had my shoulder surgery about 10, 11 years ago. And there, so they did an incision up here, obviously, you know, here, here, and here.
Now, what they do is they drill a hole into your shin bone, I think it's your tibia and your femur, and they feed this donor tissue in and they secure it somehow. I don't know exactly how they do it. But, and then of course your body just grows onto it and anchors it into place. So, not bad. Not bad at all, actually. The skin's actually in good shape. I guess that tensor bandage breathed fairly well. I can bend my leg about that far before I start to feel some binding and a little bit of pain. And I can't quite straighten it. I can go about that far. But I do have my exercise that'll come with that. Now I have to leave these on for about another 5 days. And that's fine, but I am in desperate need of a shower, so that's what I'm gonna do. Thanks for watching my disgusting unveiling. So I just wanted to show you guys my knee here. It's been about 5 days since I had the surgery. Obviously, still a little bit of swelling going on in there. You know, quite a bit here. You can't really see the kneecap as clear as you can on my other leg. Obviously that's normal. Doesn't feel warm to the touch or anything like that, so no infection to worry about at this point. So far so good. Healing proceeds. So it's been about 10 days since my surgery, and everything's healing up pretty good. I had a lot of bruising down in here, and they said that was just from the blood draining down my leg there. Obviously a little bit of bruising still, but everything's healing up pretty good. These steri strips, which are a replacement for stitches, you're supposed to leave them on until they just fall off on their own, and they're starting to kind of peel off. They're basically just really sticky tape. So I've been given some exercises to do that basically are to improve my range of motion. And as you'll see here, I'm pushing my leg down about as far as it'll go, and it's not quite straight. And if you look at my good leg, you'll see it's obviously I can probably almost hyperextend it maybe 5 degrees or so. So I got to work on that. And then of course when I bring them up, that's as far as I can bring my surgical leg, but you'll see I can fold my good leg quite a bit more. The range of motion is improving, but it's not there yet. So today is June 7th, and I've been back at work for about a month now, and obviously I'm still just working on the recovery of my knee. Starting to look, you know, pretty normal. I can straighten it pretty much as well as my good leg, and I can bring it in about as good as my good leg. You'll see these scars here. There's one of the incisions they made there, and there's one there, and there's one there, and that one's a big one. It's only about 1 inch long, so pretty much fully recovered. A little bit of atrophy of the muscles, but everything's coming along well. And I would say I'm not fully recovered, but not the horrifying experience I was actually expecting at first. So everything has gone well. Thanks for watching.